In this video, I'm going to show you how to put a functional gauge pod that will show total battery voltage into your scale comp body. So a little bit of research tonight and some technical division stuff happening, but it's really simple. I'll show you how to do it. To do this project, you'll need a few basic things. I'm going to use duct tape later on to secure the whole thing, but rather than cut the dash up on this body right here, I don't want to dig into that too far because I won't be able to read the anything. Besides, my side windows are all blacked out. You can only see in the front window with the two guys and the fire extinguisher and all that business. So what we're going to do is put this gauge pod right inside the dash here, and it's going to go kind of like this, but I'm going to have it blacked off and tipped up a bit so that I can actually read it, but it'll look cool. I'm not worried about that. Another thing I'm going to do is cut the ears off of this circuit board in the back because I don't need those and they'll just get in the way. So those are going bye-bye, and the black tape, I'm just going to angle this in there so you can see it. Now for what you'll need, this was a little 3-wire yellow digit display that I got off of eBay. They're really cheap. I think they're about $2 a piece. And I got a 3S LiPo extension cord for the balance cord off the battery. And really simple. We're only going to use the outer 2 wires, the black and the red. So I'm going to remove the inner 2 wires altogether. And I know some of you guys get a little antsy when I start using X-Acto knives around my fingers. It's okay for me. I'm not going to get hurt. I don't recommend you do it, because if you're scared, it will hurt you. I'm not afraid of it. So even if it cut me, it wouldn't hurt anything. Alright, so let's pull that first one out. I push down on this lead, pull the second one out. Then I'll come over to the wire side here, and this is the part that actually plugs into the battery. So I think I'm just going to cut those off or break them off, or I might just push those out. I think I could push out those 2 center ones, and yeah, I'm going to try that. That way I can keep these wires intact in case I ever want to use them for something else. I'll let you know how it goes. I used my screwdriver from Mo4RC that actually damaged the tip on, so I turned it into a flat blade, and I'll eventually buy another one. But what I've done is I just literally reached inside here and used the flat blade end and pushed this back, and they slid back, and then I grabbed the back side of the wire like this with the pliers and just pulled them out individually. So both of the wires are still perfectly intact, but I don't need them. This is the only part I need. And from here I am going to cut this end off because it's in the way right now, and this is going to be the end that I solder these wires to for the gauge pod. Alright, this is going to be a little soldering demo how I do it. I like to use acid flux. I get that off eBay, and I got turned on to acid flux back in the 90s when I used to race slot cars. So what I like about it is once you make a bond with this, it's solid. It'll never come off. So I'm going to hit all the ends of these wires, just paint them with the acid, and then I'm going to pre-tin them. So all that is you just take your soldering iron and basically get some solder on them. So do that here. So I'm just going to tap it. It'll soak right in. Doesn't take any time at all. Just going to hit all the ends at once. Alright, one of the things we'll have to do here is make sure that this is covered, because we're dealing with LiPo batteries. And anytime you're doing anything with the LiPo battery, it's safety third. So yeah, seriously, no joke though. If you catch one on fire, it's bad. I've seen what happens, and you don't want to see that. So I'm putting heat shrink tubing. I like to use clear heat shrink tubing because it is clear. Like I said, you can see if the bond is still good, and you can see the original color of the wire. So I have this little helping hand clip here that you hear my family in the background doing stuff. I don't know what they're doing, just talking. Anyway, I'm going to put a little more solder on the end of this thing, and I'll show you how easy it is to solder, especially when you have one of these helping hand clip tools. So you put the two ends together. They already have solder on them, so when you tap it, it's that easy. You have a solid bond, and the black wire is done. That's the easy one. What you do then is slide the heat shrink over the area. I'll see if I have a lighter, or probably have a lighter real close by. Yeah. And I'll just heat shrink this on. And that's easy as that. That wire is protected and heat shrinked. So if I want to, I could put a little bit of black Sharpie on that and it'll hide the thing, but I don't really care. It's fine. I kind of want to be able to see the joint. Anyway, I'll solder these two together and join them both to the red wire off the extension lead. I'm going to do that off camera in case somebody starts talking to me. So I'll be right back with that. I have the Gage cluster soldered up, black to black, red and yellow to red. I'm using the outer two wires of the balance plug. Let's go ahead and plug this in and see if it does not read total battery voltage. Bam! 11.2. And it is bright yellow in real life. I know it looks kind of orangish or perhaps red, but it's yellow. So I'm going to throw it into the dash and we'll see what it looks like as a Gage cluster. This is what the final product looks like installed into my Red Cat Gen 7, and it's tipped towards the driver, but it's still readable if you're standing above it. It's 11.3, and it does kind of have a yellowish orangish tint to it. There were different colors I could have got. I probably should have got red. It would have been a little bit more in line with the color scheme, but yellow. I can always redo it. It's not a big deal to hit that with solder again and put a different one in if I want to change it. So that was today's project, one of today's projects. Pretty proud of that one. I'm probably going to add this to my Capra too, because why not? It's a neat feature. I think I can put that right in the dash, right in front of the driver, so I'll still be able to read it. But yeah, this is pretty cool.